Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever virtual St Andrews University Staff Cricket Club Intra-club training match. Now this is going to be a T20 match, live from C1, and of course it's going to be AI against AI, so I have no bearing on how this match goes. Well, let's get into it. Of course, there are a couple of keys to this game. These sides are really well balanced, and it's going to be interesting to see them come up against one another just because of the different dynamics we've got going on. Of course, we've got the young guns with their three fast bowlers, Madhav Kathari, Jack McPherson and Dan Armstrong. We can see the lineups there. Stefan Borsley, 12th man for both sides. And of course we've got James Earnshaw captaining for the first time in any form for the staff, so exciting day for him. To match up against... Oh, there we have Dom? I think? Yeah. I guess that's Dom's debut on the channel. Which St Andrews won the toss.
They're going to have a bowl.
Well, it looks like Les has chosen to bowl first, which is not a terrible decision on this green and slow C1 wicket. Of course, C1 brought to you by our very own Alex Haynes. So, the young guns taking the ball first up, and it's going to be Jack McPherson to open up to Ross McLennan. Person in, flicked quite firmly out to square leg. There's Koshi out there doing the fielding. Of course, we've got 6 new sprites on the field, 6 new players that we have not seen before on the channel, as McPherson's in for the second delivery. Cut down towards third man, fielded down there by Armstrong by the look of things.
The postman gets off the mark.
And the old guard are on the board. McPherson now into Hay to face his first delivery. 2 men back on the leg side. And Hay goes hard and high at that. Up over mid-off. Nearly carries all the way for 6. 1 bounce 4. Great start here for Josh Hay. Of course, the old guard, a lot of their batting comes in that top 5, that engine room, with McLennan and Hay first up. Franklin in at 3. It's a great ball there by McPherson, but it is a no ball.
Free hit coming up.
And yes, welcome to Madhav Kathari, who's making his debut for the virtual side and is now in the group in the live chat as McPherson's in again. Punched off the back foot.
The batsman couldn't do anything
Out to,
there.
I can't tell who that is at cover.
Hit.
But a very good ball on that free hit from McPherson. He's in again. 5th ball of the over. Again, it's full and driven out to mid-off. Tom Abbott does the fielding. Another debutant for the virtual side. Saying something that I don't even really know who that was. I think that may have been Bish doing the nodding. Last ball of the first over. McPherson's in. It's played in front of square by Hay. Out to the man on the boundary. It'll just be 1, and that's the over. 7 off it.
The right armour is coming.
And here we have Dan Armstrong from the other end. Of course, that classic virtual St Andrews opening partnership of Armstrong and McPherson. A lot of experience working together in this virtual world. First ball short, and it's an inside edge. It's going to go flying out to the boundary for 4. Bit of luck there for Josh Hay. But they all count. St Andrews, the old guard, none for 11. Stands in once more. Diving stop. I think that's Haynes in at short mid-wicket. Not quite sure about that field placing by the captain Earnshaw, but a great effort. And he's been moved out of there immediately after that shot. Armstrong in again. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery.
That one. Couldn't get the drive away.
Hey, playing and missing at that one. Lovely line outside off stump. Armstrong's in again. Just an outside edge out to point. Yason does the fielding. No mistaking that main. Two balls left in the second over of the day. And a tidy one from Armstrong. He's into Hay once more. Beats him outside off stump.
Dot ball, keeping it quiet.
Been a really troubling line today from Armstrong. Of course, the 4 runs coming off that inside edge down to fine leg. Can he finish on a high note? Armstrong's in again, short, moving away from Hay. Beats him outside off stump. Very good over for St Andrews. The young guns. The old guard, none for 12. Oh, none for 11, sorry. Even better than that. McPherson to continue. He's into McLennan. Hasn't seen a lot of the strike and looks to do something about it. Up and over mid-off. A clean strike from McLennan. He moves to 5. Hayes on 9. McPherson in again. Oh, and that's gone further. Up over extra cover, 1 bounce, 4 runs. Glenn's had enough of this. Jackson once more bowls to McLennan, who's driving along the ground this time. Finds the gap, but it'll just be a single.
Another run added.
The old guard moved through to 20 as Captain Earnshaw fiddles with his field. McPherson in again to Hay, who goes hard at that one, plays and misses. Looks a bit out of sorts at the moment, does Hay. He's 9 off 12. The old guard none for 20. 2 balls left in the third over. McPherson in again. It swung away through the leg side. Armstrong can't cut it off there from fine leg. Well, hopefully that gives Hay a bit of confidence. He moves through to 13. And McPherson's in again to finish an expensive over. Hay just leans on this one behind square. Batsman through for 1. Oshie does the fielding and takes the old guard through to 25 without loss. Well, Armstrong to continue, but he's moved over the wicket. Interesting decision. He was doing very well from round. And Hay just leans on that first ball through mid-wicket. It's going to beat Koshi out to the boundary. Well, we're not used to seeing balls run like that along the ground here at C1. Hay moves through to 18. As Armstrong's in once more. One's pulled and pulled straight at short mid-wicket. Great comeback there from Dan Armstrong. Nice field placing there from the captain Earnshaw as well. And Hay goes for 18 just as he was looking dangerous. That brings Stan Franklin. No captain duties for Franklin today. He's moved over for Dom Bransden. But he is in at number 3. Armstrong's into him. Short outside off stump. It's cut into the covers. 1 for 29. The old guard in white being put into bat by Earnshaw. Full toss and hit hard, but straight at short mid-wicket. Haynes is doing well in there. Somewhat surprisingly. Armstrong in once more. Fifth ball of the over. It's swung away in the air by Franklin. Oh, he's got quite a lot of that. One bounce, 4 over mid-wicket. And not a bad way to get off the mark for Franklin. He's 4, McLennan's 10. Last ball of the 4th over. And the old guard 1 for 33. Armstrong's in. This one's pulled along the ground, straight to square leg.
Armstrong has had a good over there, gave away a few runs, but more importantly, got the wicket.
1 for 33, so just a tick over, 8 and over for the old guard. As McPherson continues. That's full at McLennan's pads. And he hits it firmly through square leg, out to the boundary for 4. Yes, be careful with that. It's catchable height. But he found the gap and it's 4 runs. Person in again. He's been expensive today. That's cut straight to Seagal. Oh, she's happy with that one. Third ball of the over. Short and just punched off the back foot. Yes, no from McLennan. Got to remember that he's running with Franklin. Never a run there. Fairly good start here for the old guard. They did lose that 1 wicket, but they'll be happy with 37. And this one's just leant on in front of square. And it is racing out towards the boundary. Koshi's after it, but he won't catch it. 4 more to McLennan, who's batting well at the moment. 1 for 41. 2 balls left in the 5th over. McLennan on 18. Equal top score with Hay, of course, who was dismissed earlier. That's punched off the back foot out to cover, no run. Final ball of the 5th over. McPherson to McLennan. Again, punched off the back foot. Straight to short cover. A good finish to the over from McPherson. Still no bowling change for St Andrews. Earnshaw keeping his quicks on. Armstrong in for his 3rd. One's full. Has Stan playing forward. I mean, we could potentially see an all-pace attack here from the young guns. We were saying earlier that they have 3 premium quick bowlers in these 2 and Kathari as Armstrong's in again, and a little feather, I thought, through to 40, but no appeal. Franklin survives. And Armstrong's in once more. One's a beautiful ball swinging in from outside off stump. As Stan playing and missing. Yes, we've talked about the 3 fast bowlers for the young guns, but they've also got Haynes and Abbott. Quality medium fast bowlers. And Earnshaw is well to bowl some spin as Stan flashes at that. Gets it away to the backward point boundary. Well, Armstrong's gone for 4 boundaries for his 16. The old guard, true to their name, not really pushing the singles. That's shorter, picked up and pulled away behind square on the onside this time. Franklin moves through to 12. Just trying a bit hard, I think. Yeah, Armstrong. Consecutive boundaries for Franklin. Armstrong's in again. Just short. Punched out to mid-off.
Ends the over. The captain can now put 5 fielders outside the circle. The right-arm pace bowler is coming into the attack.
Oh, and speaking of Madhav Kathari, here we have him. Of all the new players, I think I'm most proud of this one. Cathari in to start. Very slingy bowling action. Interesting. The dot ball to McLennan. McLennan, who's also watching live at home, noting that we've beaten previous records of viewership. Absolutely correct, as Cathari finds the edge of McLennan's bat. Ball safe though. Goes down to third man for a single, and that's the 50 up for the old guard. McLennan moves through to 19. Now the outright top scorer. Take a look at this field for a second. Earnshaw's gone very defensive very early. And we see there Stan just walking across his stumps, playing it out to backward square leg for an easy single. So looking to really put the brakes on these boundaries, it seems, Captain Earnshaw. As Cathari's in again, strikes McLennan on the pad. That moved in viciously, and he's given. Madhav Cathari in his first game gets the wicket of McLennan. We'll see if he's going to review this here. Did jag back a long way, and no, he's not going to appeal that one. Cathari's wicket stands, and McLennan goes for 19. No idea what kind of cap they're wearing today, St Andrews, but Brooks is out batting in some kind of odd floppy. And Cathari into his former housemate. First ball, nicked down to third man. Another single. Been a very good over from Cathari so far. McLennan there in the comments calling for a review. I think I would have reviewed that, but oh well. As Cathari's in again, and this one's hammered up and over extra cover. Out to the boundary for 4, and what was a very tidy over before that ball. Franklin does some damage.
The right armour is coming on to bowl from the pavilion.
Oh, here we have Alex Haynes into the attack, one of those aforementioned fast medium bowlers. Could we see an all-pace attack from Earnshaw? Hanno's in again, it's
Goes through to the wicketkeeper.
left alone by
Shot off
Crooks. Only 123 kilometers an hour. Just easing into his work today. Hands in again. Crooks is hitting that along the ground out to deep mid-wicket. Batsman are through for a single.
Another run taken.
Run rate just sliding ever so slightly. Now for the old guard, down to 7.77 as Haynes is in again, and Franklin nudges that one down to fine leg.
And they
Just
get
a single there to Koshi. Franklin up to 18 already. Brooks on 2 as Haynes is in again. It's another full delivery. Flicked off his pads by Crooks. Think about 2, the batsman.
one run there.
But it's just 1 in the end. Good work out in the deep. Haynes in once more. 5th ball of the over. Punched off the back foot. Running with the shot is Franklin. Good call. Through for another single, and that's 60. Last ball of another tidy over for the young guns. Left alone by Crooks. Good leave in the end
Very
there.
well targeted bowling in that.
Tailed in a bit. And with the fielding restrictions off now, brakes have firmly been applied. Old guard down to 7.5 and over. 8 gone. And Cathari's continuing. Full ball, swinging into the stumps. Franklin punches it out into the covers. Cathari in once more. Flings it in, and Franklin can only punch it off the back foot. No run this time, despite the misfield there by Abbott. And we say things just slowing down a bit. Good work by these first change bowlers as Cathari's in again. Third ball of the over. Short, and as Franklin punching off the back foot to get through for a single this time.
1 run taken.
2 for 61 now. Franklin up to 20. Crooks on 3. He's on strike. Drives that one firmly through the covers. There's a sweeper back.
They take the
Just
single.
another single. Who runs off the over so far? Sorry, into Franklin, beats him outside off stump. Madav will be pretty happy with that one. Head and hands for Haynes. And Cathari's on the brink of a very good over here, just 2 off it from the first 5 deliveries. Is in again to Franklin. It's short, cut into the covers. They get a single, big dive from Franklin. And Cathari and his captain will be very happy with that over. Just 3 off it. Oh, that brings Tom Abbott into bowl, who has perhaps the worst of the new sprites. Bish, if you end up watching this, I'm very sorry, but he's into bowl to Franklin.
Chance here.
Oh, dodgy call there from Franklin. Crooks could have been in a lot of trouble. And they're through for a single. 2 for 64 now for the old guard. Run rate below 7. As we're into the 9th over. Full and swinging in and just missing off stump. Crooks flashing at it, trying to take it over cover. Abbott in again. Short of a length. Crooks is just punching that up over the bowler. Could have been a catch there, I think. Another dot ball. Three balls gone in this over, only 1 off it. Position once more, full, and Crooks is playing that through the leg side, up over mid-wicket. And again, Armstrong can't get round to it. It's another boundary. As the captain comes to talk to the man who looks nothing like Tom Abbott. Crooks up to 8. Position again, it's driven straight. Can't beat the man at mid-off. Last ball of the 10th over now. The old guard 2 for 68. Crooks on strike on 8. Franklin's on 22. That's a short ball punched off the back foot out to mid-off.
5 runs in
Another dot ball, another good over for the young guns.
This bowler knows how to give the ball an almighty tweak.
Here we have the captain's gone to himself finally. See the introduction of spin. Coming around the wicket to Franklin. Be a good test. He's flicked this one in the air. It's up high over the leg side. Will it go over the boundary? 6, first ball. Take that, says Stan. Earnshaw in again. What's he got to reply? Franklin's forward and flicking that straight out to square leg. Franklin on 28. Earnshaw's into him again. This one's hit firmly in the air. Will it beat the man on the boundary? Well fielded out there at the long leg boundary. I think that was Abbott. Made good ground and picked up a ball on the hop that looked to be going for 4. Have to make do with a single. Franklin moves to 29. Earnshaw to Crooks now. Crooks going for the switch hit, connecting. But it only goes as far as the sweeper on the deep cover boundary. Interesting choice of shot that. Crooks moves through to 9. And Earnshaw's back into Franklin, who's forward and heading that out to deep mid-wicket. Just a 1. to the man. It looks like Haynes there on the boundary.
Now, solid start.
Nine off the over already. Still one ball to go. Earnshaw to Crooks. Full outside leg stump. Will that be given as a wide? Yes, it is. Trying to get cute there is Earnshaw. Gonna have to bowl that one again. And once more, and Crooks leans on that one. It's got that in front of square. Could come back for two. They want to come back for two. Crooks is through a little bit slow, but does make it in the end, and that's a big over for the old guard. Abbott to continue, bowling to Franklin now. Beautiful delivery, swinging away from him outside off stump. Earnshaw doesn't know how that one didn't find the edge. Abbott in again. Shorter this time, again beating Franklin.
Didn't know where that was going.
Very tidy this. The old guard 2 for 80. One's full swing into the pads. Franklin swings it away in the air. One bounce out to Kathari there on the boundary. Good work from him. Keeps it to a single. Abbott into Crooks now. Crooks is on 11. Short and struck in the arm. Don't rob it.
Tries to drive that, but missed.
Oh, and Abbott will be having a few words there with Crooks. He runs down to field it. Tolman again. Crooks hits this high in the air. Just gone after that one. Got under it, but got enough.
Didn't quite carry the whole way.
Clears the fielders, and it's out to the boundary for 4. Seemed like that may have been brought on by a bit of pressure. Wouldn't mind that if I was the captain. Crooks on to 15. 2 for 85 the score. That's full, and Crooks has gone after it again. Got a bit more of this one by the looks of it. Again, it's out to the boundary for 4.
One bounce and it goes for 4.
Well, good finish to the over for the old guard. Oh, and Earnshaw's one and done. Taking himself off after that one. Haynes back into the attack. Solid first over from him. Just 4 off it. If you can keep that up, it's a no ball first ball. And Franklin has absolutely smashed it along the ground through wide mid-off. That's not the start that the young guns needed to this over. And here we have a free hit. Haynes into Franklin. Bowls and Franklin flicks us through the onside, and that's going to go out to the boundary for 4 as well. Oh, disastrous start to the over. 9 off just 1 legal delivery. The old guard 2 for 98. Haynes into Franklin. And he's knocked over his off pole.
Ends up by that.
Well, out of nowhere, Haynes delivers a magic ball. Not quite sure what it did. But it's hit the top of off. And Franklin has to go.
Dominic about to face their first ball.
Brings the captain, Bransden, to the crease. Nice to see him back in, not the St Andrews colours, because I don't know what colours we're playing in today, but nice to see him back in the lineup. First balls hit out through the covers. Seems he's learned how to play the cover drive since heading down to London. Never mind, Haynes bowls again. Bransden again hitting through the cover.
And the chance goes begging.
I think that's been dropped. Findsy there at cover has put Bransden down. That could prove costly. Remember, a lot of the old guard batting, and that's top 5. Haynes to continue. Bransden again insisting on that cover drive.
Builds the pressure.
Another dot ball. And Haynes has come back well from his start. Last ball of the over. Has not conceded a run since that first ball shocker. That's down leg, and Bransden helps it up in the air. That's going to go all the way.
Won't like that one one bit.
Just a flick of his wrist and that's gone for 6.
The right arm pace bowler is coming into the attack from the pavilion.
Now we have Rodri Price, the oldest of the young guns. Of course, the young guns not being done on age, but on when they joined the club. Price is into Crooks, who flicks that out to deep square leg, just for a single. Of course, Bransden with that 6 brought up the 100 for the old guard. Three for 105. That run rate up around 8 again. As Price is into Bransden, punching off the back foot. That's more finds his pace. Fields that cleanly. Bryson again, third ball for him. One's punched along the ground through wide mid-off.
And they get a single there.
As Mel says, they get the single. Earnshaw just doing some fiddling between balls. I have the feeling he might be a bit nervous. Still a lot of cricket to be played. Price into Crooks. Drives that straight out to Fines at cover. The dot ball. Three for 106. Now, the old guard should be looking at about 160, 170 here. If they can keep wickets in hand. If these two can bat for a few overs, could be on the cards. In the meantime, Price has bowled a brilliant over. Only 2 off it. And that one just goes over the stumps. What a fantastic over. Haynes to continue, bowling to Bransden. Outside edge, picked up on the bounce by Yasson. Great pickup. He's been doing some practice. Haynes in again. Shorter this time, punched off the back foot.
The batsman will want
Can't
to get
beat
this
Fines.
turning over here.
Haynes in once more, third ball of the over. This one's flicked through the leg side. That's one of Bransden's strengths, and he gets it out to the boundary. Kathari can't stop it. Another 4 to Bransden. He moves through to 11. Crooks is at the other end on 20. And Haynes is in for the 4th ball, short, and strikes Bransden. Nice ball from Haynes. He's in again. 2 balls left in his 3rd over. Short outside off stump. Cut at Seagal. Big dive from Crooks. Bit laboured running there. They get through for the single. 3 for 111 the old guard. Last ball of Haynes' 3rd over. He's into Crooks, who takes that up over extra cover. That's out to the boundary for 4. Crooks moves to 24. And maybe that's a little bit of momentum that the old guard need to push them up. 3 for 115 now. 5 overs left. It will be looking about 160. First one has Bransden leaning on it through mid-on.
One run there.
Well bowled by Price. Price into Crooks now. Then bowls it's full and Crooks swings and misses.
Ball ends up there.
Looking to go over cover again by the looks of things. Probably playing a little bit straighter. Price doing a job here for his skipper. Then again, Crooks swings us away up over the leg side. He's found the gap between the 2 men who are back. It's out to the boundary for 4. Bit of risk involved in that shot, but it pays off. Price to continue. Fourth ball of the over. That's full. Clipped in the air by Crooks.
Nice save.
Can't beat. That looks like Armstrong there.
One more
That
to
long
score.
on. Through for a single. Just feels like we've turned it up a notch here. Bit more intensity being shown by the old guard. 3 for 121. As Dom hits that firmly through the onside, beats mid-wicket. They looked for 2. Crooks wanted it, but Bransden sent him back. Just another single. Last ball of the 16th over. 3 for 122 the score. Crooks, a little inside edge onto his pad.
Not too bad from either side there.
I think Price would be happy with that one,
Is the new bowler from the university end.
as Kathari comes back into the attack. 2 overs, 1 for 10. Very tidy figures for him. As he's into bowl to Bransden, who
Swing and a miss.
swings and misses. Another good delivery. As we said early in this match, that fast bowlers for the young guns could be the difference here. But Dominic Bransden uses the pace, hits that one over wide mid-on, out to the boundary for 4. That is one advantage of having the faster bowlers on. Bransden moves through to 18. Dari continues, short and he's pulling. There is a man back at deep square leg.
From the wall.
Another run added.
Toshi does the fielding out there, keeps it to 1. Three left in the over. Dari to Crooks. Full, and Crooks just runs that into the onside. They're through for 1. Bransden's pushing Crooks back for 2, and it's comfortable in the end.
Added there.
Crooks on 31. Bransden on 19 at the other end. 3 for 129. Dari's in, short to Crooks, who pulls that away through the onside. And whoever that is down at fine leg couldn't quite get round to it. Out to the boundary for 4. Kathari won't be too happy with that. Of course, he and Crooks, former flatmates, so there'll be a bit of rivalry going on. And that's a great comeback delivery. 146 kilometers an hour outside off stump. Plays and misses. Price to continue now. 3 for 133. Bransden hits that one out to long on. Good control from Bransden. Another single. Two overs and 5 balls remaining for the old guard. 134 the current score. It's driven by Crooks along the ground down to long on. Yet another single. Young Guns would have to be happy with singles at this stage. One a ball only gets them through to just over 150. But they'll be looking for more than that as this one's edged out to short third man. Well fielded. Very well bowled. Price so far the standout of the Young Guns as he continues. None for 11. Short cut and a diving attempt there by Segal. He puts it down, but what an effort. Stops 4 and they don't even get a single. Price in again. Short edged out to short third man. This is a fantastic over from Price. None for 11 from him. Last ball of his third over. Down leg that time. Will it be a wide? No, not given as a wide. So a very good over in the end. Just 2 off it. 3 for 135. 7.5 and over. 2 overs remaining. Cathari continues to Crooks, who hits that high over the leg side. One bounce, 4 runs.
And it goes for 4.
He's been finding that gap today. And Cathari's not impressed. Crooks moves into the 40s as Cathari continues to him. Just across his stumps again, playing it out behind square. Bransden wants 2. Crooks is coming back and it's going to beat Koshi's throw in.
He has played that nicely. Gets 2.
Crooks onto 42. 3 for 141. The old guard. Cathari in again. Crooks hits this hard over extra cover. It's going to beat the man. Out to the boundary for 4. No, it's not. It's superb work. I think that may have been Haynes and the direct hit. Doesn't count for anything, but what a fantastic throw by Alex Haynes. Three for 144. This is a full toss.
That one up nicely.
And Bransden's picked that up, put it in a gap, and hit it out to the boundary for 4.
These two
And
really
they've done it so many
good.
times
They've
for
now
St
had
Andrews.
50.
50 between Bransden and Crooks. Bransden moves on to 24 with that. 3 for 148. Cathari to continue. Good comeback.
Drive that, but missed times.
Good comeback. Bransden plays and misses. Last ball of the spell for Cathari. Last ball of the 19th over. 3 for 148. Cathari in. Full toss. Bransden hits this up over long leg. 1 bounce, 4 runs.
Glorious shot.
The 150 up for the old guard. And not a great finish to the spell for Cathari. 28 runs coming from his final 2 overs.
The right arm pace bowler is coming into the attack from the pavilion end.
And we have the return of Dan Armstrong to finish. 1 for 20 from his first 3 opening up. He's bowling to Crooks, who's on 45. Short, punched off his back foot. Quickly through for a single. .160 will look like a minimum here for the old guard. As Armstrong's into Bransden this time. Short and punched off his back foot. In the air, but there's no one at mid-off.
And they go through for
So
1.
we'll say well placed by Bransden there. Armstrong in again. To Crooks, who's hitting this over the leg side. Finds the gap. It's going to go out to the boundary for 4, and that's 50 for James Crooks.
50, and
After a
it's
slow start, he's accelerated well in these final overs. And who knows what the old guard will be looking at now. It could even be as high as 170. Short ball is Crooks flashing at it, and it's the end of that dream. Great comeback from Armstrong. 1 for 26 for him. 2 balls left in his spell and in the innings. That's full, and Crooks hits that through forward square leg. He's hit the gap.
Comes to the boundary for 4.
That's 4 more. And final ball of the innings. Armstrong into Crooks. Short outside off stump, and he swings and misses.
got a change in the commentary box. Joining me now
So,
is James Taylor.
Thanks, Slats.
Great innings there from Crooks. Good finish by Armstrong, but here we have Crooks' spider. Boundaries coming all around the ground, mostly through the leg side.
Good innings for the batsman, playing
And
pretty well. But
the old
gonna
guard
come
end
a
with
few more runs to
162
give
on the
their
board.
bowlers a little bit of headroom.
Well, an interesting first innings. The runs coming thick and fast at times. A struggling a little bit against Armstrong early up. And the bowling of Price really putting some brakes on
A decent
the old
total
guard.
to chase down for the batsman, but it won't.
But 163, the total required. And this will be key, the young guns.
The left-arm pace bowler is coming into the attack from the University.
Their opening batsman not known to be the quickest of scorers. And we're starting off with a slip and a gully for Phil, who's making his debut. And Seagal knocks that one off the front foot out to mid-on.
First ball and he's off the mark.
And on the board, first ball. Pass, of course, making his debut for the virtual side. Another face that it's nice to see back in the lineup. Koshi goes after this one
Straight down the wicket.
and hits it high over mid-off. It's out to the boundary for 4. I was not expecting that, ladies and gentlemen. Koshi known as the wall for a reason. None for 5 as passes in again. Koshi flicks that off his legs and a diving stop by Franklin. Well, we've had a bit of everything here early on. Koshi's still on strike. He's on 4. Phil into him. This one's flicked off his legs. Long legs running around to pick it up. I think it's Dave out there. Throws it in. A through for 2. Phil to continue. None for 7 so far. This first over. Koshi's punching that off the back foot. Out into the covers. Dot ball. That's Hay they've got in the covers. Last ball of the over. Phil in again. Again played into the covers by Koshi. Good finish from PP.
The right arm pace bowler is coming into the attack from the pavilion end.
And Angus to open up from the other end. So, going with the medium paces here. And first ball, Seagal takes that over the leg side.
Solid shot, goes for 4.
A great stroke, can't bowl there, Angus. None for 11 now, the young guns. Fast start. Oh, but a great comeback from Angus Stewart.
Took out the stumps.
McLennan might need to take a couple of steps up though. Absolutely no carry on that one. Stewart and again to Seagal. One's outside off stump. Has Seagal playing off the front foot. Gets it up over mid-off. That's a shot we're not used to seeing Yason play. But it works. It's out to the boundary. 4 runs. None for 15 now. Great start. One's driven out to point. Fielded there by Paul Smith by the look of it. With his shades on. No run. Stewart and again to Seagal. Strikes him on the pad. May just be outside off stump. No, says the umpire.
Well worth a shout. Umpire says not out.
Well, real brains trust meeting there. McLennan, Bransden, and Stewart decide against the review. As Stewart's in again. One's full. Driven out into the covers. And a top finish to that over. Bill to continue to Koshi, and Koshi hammers that up over the offside. Don't know what's gotten into him. What did he have for breakfast? Another boundary. Bill in again, strikes Koshi on the pad. That looks close. Did it do enough? No, says the umpire.
Not sure how the batsman survived that. He rejects the appeal.
Deciding against the review once more. Passing again. Koshi takes this one up over cover. Maybe I'm going to have to check his stats after this game, but what a shot from Aaron Koshi. Did not expect this. He's on 14. Pass into him. He's pulling this time. In front of square. A lot of work to be done and a very unnecessary dive. Keeps it to 1. None for 24. There's a bit of animosity growing in the chat. I like it. As Phil's into bowl. This one's just nudged behind square. Down to fine leg. Fielded by Miller.
One more to the
Keep it to
score.
1. Young Guns up to 25. Captain has to be happy with this start. Phil in again, strikes Koshi on the pad. It's another appeal, and this one's given.
He didn't really get going.
Wasn't
Such a
necessarily
huge
that
foul.
convinced by the appeal, but the umpire puts his finger up. And Koshi decides not to review it. He goes LBW for 15. Strike rate of 150 though.
The new
Question for the chat.
will be down
Did he do his job?
rising.
Earnshaw strides out to the crease. He's at the non-striker's end. As Seagal ramps this over the wicketkeeper's head
Well played.
out to the boundary for 4. I have never seen that shot played in this game by the AI. And Seagal has pulled it off magnificently. As Stewartson once more, flick to leg. Franklin stops that at short mid-wicket. One for 29. The Young Guns. Quick start. Stewartson once more. This one's head up over wide mid-off. Not getting all of it, Seagal, but getting enough and putting it in the gap. Bransden looks forlorn there. Seagal moves on to 18. Snudges this one through the leg side. Two balls left in the 4th over. Stewart and again to Seagal. Lays and misses at that one. That's a better
Unable to
length.
connect.
I think if anything, the old guard just guilty of bowling a bit too full today. So far at least. Last ball of the over. That's full and lent on out
Quite
to
a bit
mid-off.
over.
Miller does the fielding and it's a dot ball. 1 for 33 from 4. They're adding around the going rate. As Earnshaw, first ball, edges that through the slips.
He's off
Gone
the mark.
between Crooks and
Now
McLennan.
looking to build.
And out to the boundary for 4. Now, if you wanted some realism, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. Earnshaw off the mark. And pass continues. 1 for 21 for him. Bit leg side-ish. Pushed out to Franklin. Pass in once more. Earnshaw goes after this one. He's hit it high in the air. But he's got a lot of it. 1 bounce, 4 runs.
4 runs there.
And
Super shot.
that's a shot that the virtual St Andrews lot will have to hear about for the next 2 years. Really connected with that one, Earnshaw. He's on 8. 1 for 41. Pass in, strikes him on the pad. I think that's pitched outside. But he's given!
The whole team running
The umpire's
excellent.
given it. I'm not quite sure about it.
That's a lot.
Will he review it? No, he won't. And Earnshaw goes. LBW pass for 8.
Finns. The new batsman arrives at the crease.
Tommy finds in. 2 wickets. That could be big here. The young guns bat a bit deeper than the old guard. And finds it off the mark
Another
first
run out
ball.
to the score.
Pass, he's been expensive, but he's taken the 2 wickets, 2 for 26. Last ball of his 3rd over. A lot of bend back in on that one. It's driven down to Miller. Dot ball.
The captain can push this field a bit deeper now. 3 more
Oh, and the restrictions are off. And Bransden turns to... Oh, restrictions not off yet. But Bransden turns to spin. And finds he helps this one up over the leg side, but straight to the man on the boundary.
Good catch.
Tommy Fines, what's he done? And a 3rd wicket falls. Tom Fines on debut for the virtual side. He doesn't chip it to cover, but he does hit it straight down Longleg's throat. And in comes another debutant, Henry Ford. But Seagal's on strike. Seagal goes hard after this one, hits it along the ground, through extra cover. It won't slow up enough. Miller can't get to it. It's 4 runs. Well, whatever happens in the end there, these 2 openers, Seagal and Koshi, have definitely done their job. Seagal needs to continue though, as he pushes this one through the covers. Come back for 2.
2 runs added.
Seagal 5 fours in his 24. Franklin into him. He's 1 for 6 so far. Finds the edge. Diving stop by Crooks. It's good effort. Don't think it carried. It'll go down as a dot ball though. 3 for 48. Franklin in again. Going to Seagal, who's down sweeping. Can't beat square leg. Last ball of the 6th over. Franklin to Seagal. Franklin's leg side-ish again. Great pickup by Patrick Jess there at short mid-wicket. Top over by Franklin. Look at that bounce. Well past to continue, bowling his final over. Moves around the wicket to bowl to 40. Who's back and trying to pull. Batsman going to come through for a leg bye. And not out, says the umpire.
Umpire totally unconvinced.
Little discussion. I can't imagine this one going upstairs. And it doesn't. Of course, due to the cricket 19 glitch, Ford retained strike despite the leg bye. Pass into him. He's hit this one high and straight. And now to the boundary. 1 bounce. 4 runs into the side screen. Not a bad way to get off the mark, and pass returns to over the wicket. Into 40 again. Who's forward once more, finds the edge this time. Down to 3rd man. Crooks up there, does the fielding. Brings Seagal on strike. 24 from just 20 balls for Yason. Passes into him. It's outside off stump. Straight up to Hay there at cover. (109 from 80 balls is the equation. Passes in and he's bowled him. That switch to around the wicket does the trick as the ball just holds its line. Seagal goes after it. Can't connect and pass takes another wicket.
Armstrong is the new batsman. It is now out in the middle.
Brings Armstrong into bat earlier than anyone would have liked. Short ball strikes Armstrong on the body.
Ends that over.
That's the end of the over. Franklin to continue. 4 for 54. An appeal for LBW. I could see all 3 stumps though. 40 should be safe.
Worth a shout, but the umpire says no.
And a lot of experience in that little huddle. Side against the review. 109 from 77. Franklin continues and Ford plays and misses. Franklin might prove quite difficult to get away here if he keeps it outside off stump. That one's punched out to the covers. Fielded again by Hay. Franklin in once more. Outside edge, and McLennan's taken a fantastic catch.
Universities have made their job a lot easier with that wicket.
Franklin gets the wicket. Don't think 40 will have anything to complain about there. Wonderful hands by Ross McLennan. And the Young Guns, 5 for 54.
Bit of a task for the new batsman here, trying to turn this innings around after a steady flow of wickets in recent
And
overs.
2 new batsmen at the crease, both yet to get off the mark. Franklin to Price. He's across his stumps, hits that out through fine leg. He's been watching the other games.
One bounce and it goes for 4.
You leave fine leg open, it's always an option. Price takes it on, gets the rewards. Franklin to finish. Price hits this up over cover. One bounce, well fielded out there on the boundary. I think that was Bransden.
And that
Direct
is a
hit.
big over.
Doesn't matter though.
Taken from it, and not many runs.
Good start for Price.
New bowler.
And Patrick Jess. Into bowl. Jess to Armstrong. Hits this one
Good
up
shot.
over extra cover. One bounce, 4 runs. And not the start that the old guard would have wanted for Jess. Armstrong off the mark. 99 now required from 71 balls. Just need a couple of partnerships here, the Young Guns. And they keep some cool heads. All they need. Yes, and again, that's left alone by Armstrong. Very early leave there. But it's a dot ball, 99 from 69. Yes to Armstrong. Ball swinging away, driven out to extra cover.
Good, precise bowling. Another
Fielded
dot
by
ball.
Franklin in close. Another dot ball. Well, after his first ball, it's been a good comeback from PJ. Pat in once more. Again, played out into the
Good
covers.
bowling here.
Hayfields
The
this
Dots are
time.
Really putting the pressure on.
99 from 67. Jess in to finish his first over. Ball's a bit shorter, punched off the back
Nicely
foot.
played.
Found a gap here, Armstrong. Passes after it. And manages to catch it.
Good precision
Manages
the
to catch
side
it before it
back
gets to the
from team.
boundary.
Couldn't do much against that bowling. Nice
Get
over.
2, and it's a very good over from Jess. Franklin to continue from the other end. His third over. That's full. And that is pads. It doesn't
One
quite
bounce and that's 4.
get over the boundary. The man running around can't quite get to it. It's 1 bounce, 4 runs. Bryce moves through to 10 off just 3 deliveries. Franklin in again. This one's flicked out to square leg. No run. And you do get the feeling that the Young Guns are gonna chase this total. These 2 are the keys. As Franklin bowls and strikes Price on the pad.
They feel pretty confident about this.
No, says the umpire.
Not sure
Think
how
it
the
may have
batters
struck him
survive that.
just outside off
Rejects
stump.
the appeal.
And there's no review. Franklin in again. It's a bit wider that time and head along the ground through point. Sweeper picks it up, keeps it to 1.
And through for 1.
Five for 71, the Young Guns. Old guard just on top here. Franklin continues. Armstrong plays it along the ground out to cover. .92 from 61. Final ball of Franklin's third over. One's hit straight.
Four. Superb shot.
It's not four at all, Slats. It's cut off by mid-off, and it's a dot ball. .92 and over required. We're at the halfway stage. That's into Price. He struck him on the pad, and it's another LBW.
Didn't really get going. Such a
That's
huge
another
out.
one. Just nibbling the ball around. And there's no challenge. Price goes for 11 off 7 balls.
Bit of a task for the new batsman here, trying to turn this innings around after a
And the young guns in a bit of trouble. In a spot of bother. 6 for 71. Abbott strolls out to the crease. Jess into him. This is knocked down to mid-on. First ball. Sensible batting.
Abbott is off the mark.
.91 from 58 balls. Jess continuing. Struck Armstrong. They're going to get through for the leg bye.
Very troubling line there from the bowler.
Jess just nibbling the ball around a little bit, causing a little bit of problems for the batsman. Just going for 7 runs so far. He's in again. 4th ball of his second over. Finds the outside edge of Bish's bat. Another dot ball. Jess in once more, bowling to Abbott. Short outside off stump, nudged into the covers. Hay does the fielding, and another dot. Every dot ball this gets harder for the young guns. And Jess is in, last ball of the over. Another outside edge.
Really deserved the wicket. He has
Fantastic
put in
over there from Patrick Jess.
Miller, the pace bowler, is coming into the attack from the pavilion end.
Another change in the bowling. David Miller getting a trundle. 10 and over required. As Miller's in, short outside off stump, it's hit up and over the offside. Great shot by Armstrong, goes out to the long off boundary for 4. Maybe that's it. Maybe the switch will flick here. Got 2 aggressive batsmen potentially at the crease. Miller continues short to Armstrong, just cut out to point. Six for 77. Armstrong on 10, Abbott on 1. Miller continuing, strikes Armstrong on the pad. We'll get through for a leg bye here. Maybe even 2. Think about 2. McLennan had dived down the leg side and was a bit slow to get up. .85 from 51 required. Abbott on strike. Miller in. Bowls, it's hit high in the air. Straight down the ground. Has he got enough to beat the man? Yes, he does. 1 bounce, 4.
Didn't quite make it to the rope. 1 bounce and 4.
Runs into the car park and Bish won't mind that. He's up to 5. 82 off. 82 runs. The loss of 6 wickets, and that one's carved away through the offside. They'll get 2. And
Very nice throw back.
with 1 ball left in the over, they've already got 10 off it. This is more like it. This is what the young guns need. Last ball. Miller in. Bowls.
Not a lot the
Toe
batsman
ends
could
of
do
the
in
bat.
that over.
Through to McLennan. Still 10 off it. And the young guns in with a shout here. .79 from 48. Jess into Armstrong. This one's just leant on down to third man. Get 1. Miller does the fielding. 78 from 47. Yes to Abbott. He's back, struck on the pad.
Big shout for that one.
It was an appeal for LBW. No, says the umpire.
The appeal.
Another meeting about a review. Again, they opt not to use it. Yes, continuing. Strikes Bish on the pads.
Tries to
Really
drive
proving
that
a handful at the
waste.
moment. Patrick Jess. Then once more. Again, beating the bat, Tom Abbott. Just getting enough movement here. Cause all sorts of trouble. 6 for 85, the Young Guns. Bish is forward, playing this one through the leg side. Just a single. Oh, and what has happened there? What has happened there? That's exactly the opposite of what the Young Guns needed.
Created a chance out of
A
nowhere.
total brain explosion from Armstrong. And I'm quite lost for words, ladies and
So the
gentlemen.
new batsman is at
To have that happen at this stage of the match. Disaster. A disaster. Brings Haynes to the crease, edges that one. Diving stop by McLennan. And another fantastic over from Patrick Jess.
From the pavilion end.
7 overs left and Josh Hay comes in for the first time. This one's full, flicked away through the onside in the air.
Oh, very nice.
Great
there.
pickup by Franklin on the boundary.
And they get a single there.
Turning back the years with a pickup like that. Keeps it to 1. Bish moves on to 9. Hayno's on strike, still yet to get off the mark. Hayes into him, beats the batsman.
With a beauty.
Absolute beauty. The sprite that looks nothing like JT, shaking his head in disbelief. A in once more. Strikes Haynes on the pads, there's no appeal.
The bowler's not
And it's
sure
a
how
dot
that
ball.
missed.
7 for 87, the Young Guns. 76 required from 39. It'll take a miracle. This is short.
Oh, what a good shot.
Haynes pulls us through the onside. Well picked up by Miller out on the boundary. A bit of confusion with the running. What is going on?
Despite the distance.
What on earth is going on? Abbott has been run out. There was a mid-pitch conference. There was a yes, a no, a yes, a no, and then a yes. And Stewart gets the throw in on from the boundary, gets the run out. And Dav should be a left-handed batsman. Hay into bowl to Haynes. Pulls this through the onside. Kathari calls him through. And there's a single. Wow, this is not what we expected at all. 8 for 89. Kathari deciding to bat right-handed for the day. Hay into him. Last ball of the over. Kathari steps across his stumps and hits that out to the boundary for 4. Maybe you've been right-handed this whole time, Dav. Jess continuing his final over, and that's a beautiful delivery.
Couldn't get the drive away.
Tell you what, Patrick Jess has been the main difference between these two sides. 3.1 overs, 1 for 9. He continues to Alex Haynes. Little inside edge onto his pads.
Pad, huge appeal.
Some errant throwing of the ball. Ends up in extra covers hands.
Didn't get the wicket, but that will have unnerved the batsman. He needs to keep the pressure up.
Not out is the decision by the umpire. And there's a review.
They're going to use it here.
It didn't look anywhere near out to me. It was a hit
Decision remains not out.
by the batsman.
That was their final review for the innings.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, impact bat. There we go. And travelling miles down leg.
Decision, then.
Why you'd choose to review that one, I have no idea. Jess, McLennan, And Bransden clearly saw something that no one else on the field did. Jesson again, this one swung away through the leg side by Haynes.
Super fielding there. Run
Big
saved
dive at
and
the non-striker's end, a little unnecessary. It's away for a single. Jesson to Cathari, who's across the stumps, hitting it high in the air. Does he have enough on it? There's a man back. Doesn't matter, it's 6. Great batting from Madhav Cathari. Going easy on everyone by batting right-handed. That one struck him on the pad and he's through for a leg bye.
The batsman
8
didn't
for
know where that was
102
going.
now. .61 needed from 31 balls. Jess in, final ball of his spell to Haynes. Works his way through the leg side. Will just be a single.
Gave a few too
And
many away
a
in
fantastic spell by Patrick Jess. In spite of the boundary first ball in the 6th that over, fantastic bowling figures. Really squeeze the young gun batsman, force them into mistakes. And they now need 60 from the last 30 deliveries. Hey into Haynes, and this one's battered through the covers. All the way along the ground, 4 runs. Haynes moves on to 9. 56 now from 29 balls. Hayes in again, it's short and Haynes just flaps his bat at that one. It's just the kind of batsman he is. Haynes on strike again. Punches us off the back foot. Into the covers, no run. Haynes on 9, Cathari on 10, showing the batsman a little further up the order how it could have been done. Hay continues outside edge, and that's going to race away. 4 runs. Haynes moves through to 13. 8 for 111 now. 52 from 26. Short and punch down to long off. Sensible batting from Haynes. It'll be a single.
And they get through for 1.
Last ball of the over for Hay, an expensive over from him. Into Cathari. Short, Cathari's pulling down to find leg.
Getting past that fielder.
Through for a single.
Away a bit too much there.
And 10 off that over.
Miller returning to the attack.
Well, with Jess bowled out, Bransden turns back to Miller. 10 off his first over. Will look to be a bit tidier. That's a great ball. Just holds its line outside off stump. Cathari plays and misses. 50 from 23. Dave into Madhav, leading edge. And they scamper through for a quick single. Good running that. Cathari on 12 now. Haynes on strike, he's on 14. Miller in, bottom edge, through to the keeper. Well done by McLennan. Haynes to face once more as 4. There's an appeal for LBW. They're running through for a leg bye. Get through easily for that leg bye. And the umpire says no.
That was well worth asking the question.
48 from 20 now. 8 for 115. Miller into Cathari. It's an outside edge. Running away down to third man. Think about 2, the batsman.
Single.
Cathari sends Haynes back. Sensibly. It's just 1. Miller in again. Last ball of the 17th over. Swung away down the leg side by Alex Haynes. One bounce, 4 runs. That almost went for 6. Great connection from Haynes. Need a few more of those, however, as the over ends. Three overs left, 43 runs. Wide run rate, 14. As Hay continues. Sorry, leading edge. Out to long on. And it'll just be the single.
1 run added.
Well, again, these two have batted well together. But they were just left a little bit too much to do by the looks of things. Hay continues. Wide outside off stump. I have to bowl that again. .41 from 17. This one's muscled up over extra cover. What a shot from Alex Haynes. Clears that front leg. And just swings it away over the offside. Haynes off to 22. Hey, into bowl. This one's short. At Haynes, he punches it off the back foot. Out to mid-wicket.
1 more to the score.
Another single. .36 from 15. Kathari on strike. He's on 14. Hey, into him. He's swung it away over the leg side. There is a man back. It won't matter.
Tremendous stroke.
That's gone all the way for 6. 94 metres. Madhav Kathari swings it away for his second 6 of the innings. Hey, in again. Finds the edge. Good comeback. Bit of pinball there from JT, but fields it in the end. 30 from 13. Last ball of the over from Hay. Into Kathari, who muscles that down too long off. Fielded out there by Angus.
Ends the over.
And it's a single to finish.
This bowler really can get these spinning a long way.
And Franklin
Let's see how they go.
back into the attack to finish. This is dangerous from the captain, Bransden. 29 runs required. Kathari on strike. And
Great.
oh my word, how did that miss off stump? Good first up from Franklin. He's into Kathari, who swings this up over extra cover. There is a man back, and he keeps it to 1.
1 more added.
28 from 10 balls. Haynes on strike. He's on 23. This is full and a little feather. Think from Haynes. McLennan does very well to pick it up on the bounce. Dot ball in the end. Franklin in again to Haynes, who's playing this in the air through the onside. He's hit a gap. And they're coming back for 2. Very well run.
Nicely ran there. They'll get 2.
.26 from 8 balls. Franklin in again. Bowls and beats Haynes outside off stump. That's well flighted. Final delivery for Franklin on the day. He's been fantastic too.
That's some good
Again,
bowling. End of the over.
another flighted ball through to McLennan.
They will be looking to score big in the final over.
So, final over, 26 needed. We've seen crazier things, but doesn't feel like it's going to happen today. First ball is edged through to the keeper by Haynes along the ground. Hay in once more. 5 balls left in the innings. Full outside edge from Kathari. Down to the man at third man. Brings up the 50 partnership for the 9th wicket. And, I mean, get these guys up the batting order. 25 from 4. 4 sixes will get us to a super over. That first one's edged
Very
down to
nice
third
there
man.
from Patrick.
They keep it to a single. And so long as Hay doesn't make any mistakes out here, that'll be the game. Cathari on 23, Haynes on 26. It's been a superb effort from these two. Hay in, that's driven along the ground. Out to deep backward point. Another single. Cathari on 24. Haynes on 26. 2 balls left in the innings, in the match. Hayes in. It's a no ball.
No ball called.
So he'll have to re-bowl it. At this stage, it's a little academic.
This ball will be a free hit.
Haynes, the recipient of this free hit, still require far too many runs. Oh, and Haynes has played that on. He's played the free hit back onto leg stump. And I mean, sure, why not? 22 from 1 ball. Hayes in, edge through, 1 bounce to McLennan. Tidy finish, and that's the end of the game.
All came together and resulted in a crushing victory.
Well, that's it, folks.
Really, there was only one team in it today. I certainly hope you enjoyed watching anyway. For Mel, James and myself, bye for now.
Thanks, Slats. And you're right. Only one side in it, really, from about the halfway stage of the second innings. The old guard being put into bat by Captain Earnshaw. And we'll take a look at the scorecard. Of course, getting out to a fairly swift start, despite, as we said earlier, Hay struggles with Armstrong. McLennan and Hay 19 and 18 respectively up the top. Franklin came in, played well for his 39. A judicious innings, 30 balls, taking him 30 balls. But it was Crooks and Bransden at the end provided a little bit of acceleration. Crooks 54 not out of 37. Bransden a very useful 29 not out of 25. That saw them through to 3 for 162. So just a tick over 8 and over. 3 extras, 2 no balls, 1 wide for the young guns as we look at their bowling figures. McPherson up the top. Little expensive. Don't normally see that from him. Bit disappointing. Armstrong, first spell, absolutely excellent. Went for a few in his final over. 1 for 30. Cathari too, first spell, fantastic. 2 overs, 1 for 10 in that first spell. Getting a bit of tap from Crooks in particular in his second effort. 1 for 38 from his 4. Haynes, 3 overs, 1 for 28. Again, expensive. Abbott, 2 overs, none for 14. Could probably have been used a bit more by the skipper. Earnshaw, captain himself, only bowled 1 over. That went for 12. And Rodri Price, the pick of the young guns bowlers, 3 overs, none for 11. So, with 162 on the board, chasing 163, it was going to make for an interesting game. And certainly Segal and Koshi set out to make it that way as they blasted their way to 25 without loss before Koshi went LBW to pass. And once Koshi had gone, although there was some hitting from Segal at the other end, the wheels kind of fell off for a little while. Partnerships didn't really form. 16 for the second wicket, 1 for the third, 12 for the fourth, nothing for the fifth. And you don't really get a proper partnership until Haynes and Cathari come together for the 9th wicket. The 9th wicket, so wickets falling at very regular intervals. Of course, Armstrong, brain explosion there with his run out. Just when the young guns were looking to get some momentum. Abbott as well, big mix-up between he and Haynes. So in the end, the young guns limped to 141. And it was not all their fault. There was some absolutely outstanding bowling from some of the old guard. PP, Phil Pass on debut for the virtual side. 3 for 31, a little bit expensive, but took those 3 wickets, knocked the top off the batting. Angus Stewart, none for 16 from his 2, used up the top. Franklin, fantastic, 4 overs, 2 for 20. And working in tandem with Jess, 4 overs, 1 for 18. Really turned those screws on the young guns, so there was a big point of difference. That was probably it. Miller, 2 overs, none for 16, doing his part, and Hay at the end there took a bit of flack. 4 overs, none for 35. So, a comfortable victory for the old guard. Man of the match, Stan Franklin, for his 39 and 2 for 20. Probably well deserved there. And the old guard take that one out by 21 runs. And I see in the live chat there's already talks of a rematch. So we could be back sometime with another match between St Andrews and St Andrews. In the meantime, I've been Jim the Editor. Remember, if you enjoy this kind of content, let me know. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It really helps me with everything. But until next time, I hope you hear from me soon.